All right, here we go. Okay, oh, there, desktop audio should be on now. Let me turn up the leak volume a little bit. Okay, here we go. This week we have Case versus Edgewood in a very unusual match for tournaments. Edgewood requested it to be a 4v5. I'm pretty sure one of their players just wasn't available and they couldn't reschedule, so they figured why not just do a 4v5, which I guess it's a fair thing to do. So far the bans have been all ADCs, Caitlyn and Ezreal for the side of Case, and Draven for the side of Edgewood. Also, during this stream, I'm going to see if I can get the old league system I used to use to work. Not sure if it will, but we will see. Next band is going to be Camille from Edgewood. Camille very strong right now. She can definitely be flexed between different roles. She can be support, top, even I guess jungle, but it's probably not as strong. Last band from Case is going to be Nocturne. Nocturne's been a very popular pick last couple of weeks. And then Skarner is the final band from Edgewood. Skarner recently getting reworked. Very strong champion right now in my opinion. So, Case does have first pick. Covering the Rel. Rel is one of my personal favorite champions. Oh, gonna switch over to Nautilus. Gonna see what they end up locking in. It's gonna be Nautilus. Both Rel and Nautilus can be flexed, but mostly are played as supports, so it's definitely gonna be a Nautilus support. We're gonna see what they are gonna pick with the Nautilus. I'm honestly curious. Edgewood to lock in the Maokai. Maokai, also a very strong champion, can be flexed, top, jungle, support, even I guess mid sometimes, but we will see. Master E gonna be hovered from Edgewood. Interesting to see the Master E hover. Since this is a 4v5, it is an official game. So that's what is a little bit confusing with the Master E pick. Since they're not going to have a jungler, it might be Master E top, I suppose, or Master E mid. This game is going to be very interesting. I'm going to hover Mord for Case. I'm switching between a few champions, looking at the Tahm Kench and Mord. Sorry, audio cut out for a second there. Gonna lock in Mord. Mord, very strong champion right now, especially with the new AP items and some of the changes recently to his ultimate with the QSS. You can no longer QSS or like Gangplank Orange out of a Mordekaiser ult. So Mordekaiser feels a little bit stronger than he has been right now. Audio keeps cutting out. They're gonna lock in Aphelios. Aphelios with Nautilus is an interesting pick. Usually Aphelios wants like an enchanter, like Soraka, Lulu type character in the bot lane with him, just so he can be protected, so he can scale to 3 items, but still feeling confident with the Aphelios lock-in, and I do respect it. I do play a lot of Aphelios. Very strong champion. Mundo is going to be the hover for Edgewood. And yep, going to be locked in. Back to bans.
Your commands tire me!
Sorry, mic audio cut out again. First ban from Edgewood is going to be Veigar. Interesting team comp so far. They have no range for Edgewood. And since it is a 4v5, I'm very interested to see what happens. Jhin ban from Case. A lot of ADCs are being banned this game. Even Veigar can be played as an ADC. So 4 or 5 total ADC bans. Jhin into Aphelios is a strong matchup for Jhin. And Jhin can kind of play aggressive early, where Aphelios doesn't have any movement to get away from the W or the fourth shot. And the last ban will be Elise for the side of Edgewood. Elise is a very strong early game jungler. Makes sense why they would want to ban such a strong jungler right now. See, I don't really know how good Elise is. I do play her a decent bit, but it feels like she's in kind of a mediocre spot right now. We'll see what is going to happen.
No cure for fools.
And WIHSEA will be the final ban for Case. Last pick coming out from Edgewood. It's going to be their ADC. It's going to be Ahri, so likely Ahri ADC. Ahri ADC is fairly strong. Going to immediately lock in Malzahar. I don't know if they changed Malzahar with the QSS changes as well, but there's a lot of lockdown from the side of Case. A lot of physical damage and a lot of AP. Case is just a very strong, damage-heavy team right now. We're going to see what the overall last pick is going to be. It's going to be Rammus, so definitely Rammus jungle. Rammus probably into Master Yi for the jungle. Maybe Maokai, I'm not sure. For support matchup, it seems like maybe Ahri or Maokai versus Nautilus. Usually, this would be a pretty good matchup for Nautilus, but Maokai is in a very strong spot. Jungle, I'm honestly not really sure what's going on from Edgewood, as I know it's technically a 4v5 and an official match, since there's just unavailable with players and such, but I don't really know what the draft is going to look like. Very interesting, so we'll have to see what is going to happen. Here, the delay is going to start in just about 10 seconds. So I'm going to go back to the starting soon screen, and I'll be back in 3-ish minutes probably. That's when the timer's usually done, so yep. Here we go. So it does seem like it's gonna be Master Yi jungle, probably Mundo top, Ari bot lane by herself, and then Maokai mid is what I assume. Still not sure about the draft from Edgewood, but well looking. Sorry. I'm currently trying to get things figured out with the overlay that we use. And that should work. Yep. Alright, cool. Glad we got that working again. So, talking about runes first. Case is actually looking to go for an invade quick. Oh, I need to turn back on desktop audio. I think that was not working for a minute. Okay. I think everything should be fine now. Case is looking to go for an invade onto Edgewood's jungle. Ari's gonna place a ward. And they immediately start sweeper. They're just playing very aggressively. Also, what's interesting to point out is Maokai did buy a support item. So it looks like it's just going to be Maokai solo bot, since their ADC could not play. But yeah, mid is going to be Ari versus Malzahar. Fairly strong matchup for both sides, honestly. Malzahar did run Arcane Comet with Ari running Electrocute. I don't even know how to sort these. It's like this. Sorry for getting sidetracked. Ari running Electrocute, fairly good matchup. All other runes, for the most part, look normal. Yeah, there's nothing very unusual about the runes run by both teams. Their scoreboard should be in order now. Everything should be working fine. Mid, it's just going to be a little bit of a poke matchup early game. Neither character really does much. Top lane is also very interesting. Moore does feel kind of weak until he hits level 3. So having him not be at level 3 is going to be a little rough. So I apologize for the black screens. Mundo can get some easy poke onto Moore before he hits level 3. Bot lane, it's going to be a struggle for Maokai. Aphelios is just going to be able to free farm. Maokai probably won't die if he just plays under tower most of the game. Mid lane, I'm going to see some poke coming out from the Ari on the side of Edgewood. Getting the Electrocute proc, doing a lot of damage. Mid lane seems to be going well so far. Top lane is kind of just a farm fest. Not too much can really happen yet. Level 3 gank is going to come in from the side of Case. Rammus is going to go in onto the Ari. Ari is going to do a lot of damage in return, actually. Get the Electrocute proc onto the Rammus. Rammus just going to back off, clear the rest of his camps, possibly look for an invade. More poke from the Ari. Ari is just doing a lot of damage. Top lane. Master Yi is going to go for a level 3 gank onto the Mordekaiser as well. Mundo is going to try to slow him down a little bit. More dropping very low and dropping to the Mundo eventually. Very well played, very successful gank. Ari mid lane, going to do a lot of damage to the Malzahar. Also, I apologize if anything is delayed. There has been some issues with OBS today. But I assure you everything should be okay from now. I think I fixed everything. And level 4 is coming up for mid lane. Ari tries to hit a successful E onto the Malzahar. Okay, one more combo from the Ari and Malzahar just dies. Malzahar does have to back because of that. And we're looking bot lane again. It's just going to be free farm for the Aphelios. Probably not going to be able to actually kill Maokai. Maokai can kind of just keep Case off the bot lane tower, try to prevent push as much as possible. More dying level 1 is kind of rough for the Mordekaiser, especially because he gives Mundo the kill. Mundo can kind of get closer to probably Heartsteel early, scale faster. Maokai is just doing everything he can. It's very hard in a 1v2. Back mid. Teleports came out from both mid laners with resets. Poke is going to be tried from both sides. Nothing really is going to happen. Looks like Master Yi does want to come in for a gank onto the Ahri, or for the Ahri, rather. Ahri is going to do a little bit of damage to Malzahar. Malzahar is getting a lot of damage in return. Master Yi shows himself, forced Malzahar to flash. Master Yi with the Q immediately kills Malzahar. Very well played, very good gank. I love the discipline from the Master Yi there. And waiting to show himself before the Malzahar got low enough. It's going to give Ahri an assist and some easy shove in this lane. In case, immediately going to go bot lane and go for this Hextech Dragon. Doesn't look like there's going to be any contesting from the side of Edgewood. Master Yi is just going to back. Probably going to go for grubs very soon. Yep. That, or it looks like Remus is on his way. Looking back mid, still some pretty good shove for the Mundo. Taking grubs is kind of risky here for Case. They don't really have priority in either mid or top. Looks like Master Yi does know though. Case really does want these grubs. Ramus just gonna immediately start them. Master Yi is gonna find out. Immediately go for the contest. Ramus is half health already. Master Yi drops a Q onto the Ramus. Ramus 1 HP forced to flash, making these grubs reset and giving them to Edgewood. At least most likely that is. Ahri does look like she tried to go for a play around the tower to try to kill the Ramus, but nothing is going to happen. Master Yi is just going to solo these grubs. Malzahar is now level 6 actually. This is going to be very deadly for Edgewood. Malzahar will be taking someone out of the fight for so long. Ahri is going to immediately eat onto the Malzahar, ult over the wall. W and try to do as much damage as he can. Master Yi is there. Ahri does end up getting the pick on a Malzahar. That will die shortly most likely. Aphelios does get the last auto onto Ahri. Mundo did goes down from top lane. However, Edgewood did lose the fight. It's going to be very, very hard if Mundo wants to try to contest the Ramus for these grubs. Or this final grub, rather. So, it looks like, yep, 2 of the grubs will go over to Edgewood. Solo plating will be taken mid. It looks like there's going to be some lane swaps as well. Mordekaiser is being sent bot lane. Mord and a Mundo usually is a fine matchup for Mord, but I guess it's just safer down bot to let the Mord farm. Maokai doesn't have any kill threat on the Mord right now, or pretty much at any point in the game. Malzahar will go mid to avoid the poke from the Ahri. I do really like this lane swap idea. Especially mid. With Nautilus being able to catch Ahri so easily, and Aphelios having very strong guns right now, being red-white. Aphelios can still kind of just free farm anyway. Level 6 is coming up from the bot lane of Case. And looking bot lane, looks like Edgewood wants to try to go for a play onto the Mordekaiser. Maokai is going to immediately ult towards the Mord, but Master Yi does not seem interested. Ult doesn't hit. They're just going to back off. Case is doing well with the numbers advantage. Ahri does hit the charm onto the Aphelios. Nautilus hits a crazy hook from the bush. Ahri forced to ult away. Aphelios might still get the kill onto Ahri, but the ult doesn't look like that will happen. Ahri is just going to be forced to back. Very, very good hook from the Nautilus, by the way. I really like to see that. As top lane, Master Yi looks like he wants to go for a gank on a Malzahar. It does look like Malzahar does have... Yeah, Malzahar does have vision of the Master Yi. Just going to back away, Master Yi knows. In mid lane, more tower pressure from the side of Case. Almost 4 plates taken already for the mid tier 1. Mid tier 1 is one of the most important objectives in the game. top lane, it seems like this matchup's a lot easier for the Malzahar to play. Ahri can kind of just outpoke Malz, especially with help from me. Speaking of Master Yi and mid lane, it's going to be a big fight with both junglers going into the mid lane. Rammus ulting onto Master Yi. Master Yi cannot do anything. Does manage to get the meditate and ult off, but nothing will happen. Give the kill to the Aphelios. Aphelios 2-0-1. 10 minutes into the game. Got 87 CS. This Aphelios is going to be a monster this game. That is very clear already. Alright, just trying to poke this Aphelios out of lane, but Aphelios just isn't scared. He knows that Rammus is bot side jungle. He knows that he can kind of just get away with anything right now. Some first items are coming out from some of the characters right now, or some of the players right now. Malzahar does get Malignance. Malignance is an insane item for Malzahar. It's what makes him very good right now. The ulti is just point and click. They have to sit in the Malignance no matter what, unless I guess the ult gets cancelled. And bot lane, they're going to do another lane swap. I do like this, keeping the pressure on with the Mordekaiser. Putting the Mundo down bot against the Mord. As now we're going to see. Dragon has spawned. Gonna look bot lane. Okay, he's gonna decide to just start it. Okay, there is 2 members of Edgewood very close by, including Master Yi. They could go for a steal. It doesn't look like they're that interested. It is a Chemtech Dragon after all. It's not necessarily not useful, but it's one of the worst dragons in the game. So, Edgewood will just keep farming their lanes. And we can see what soul it is. Yep, it's Ocean. Ocean Soul is probably one of the worst souls in the game. I don't want to say it's bad. Obviously, all souls are good. But both sides don't really seem like they need it this game. There's going to be some brawling between the top laners. I'm just going to hit a very good Q. Mord is going to come back with a Q of his own. Mord is just outpoke, Mundo is just outpoking this Mordekaiser. Top lane, you can now see Ace is going to go for these grubs. Edgewood does know Master Yi is rotating up. TP from the Mundo. Seems like they do want to fight. It's a 4v4. Edgewood does want to fight. Maokai ulti coming down onto the side of Case. Aphelios ulti immediately. Aphelios has red white guns. Malzahar ulting onto the Master Yi. Aphelios just does so much damage in the backlines. Rammus does end up falling to the Mundo, but this this Maokai will not last much longer. Mundo is going to chase after the Malzahar. Malzahar does not have much sustain nor flash. Malzahar is just going to die. Mundo is the sole survivor of Edgewood right now. Looks like he'll be fine, unless not hit some sort of hook. Aphelios does actually blast cone over the wall, trying to get the last autos done with the white gun, and it does work. Aphelios does get the final kill onto the Dr. Mundo. Very, very good fight for Case. This Aphelios, like I said earlier, is going to be a monster. Backing right now, he could probably get a full item and full boots. I see. Tempted reset. Something else that's interesting to point out is neither side got 5 or 6 grubs. So, grubs didn't have that much of an impact this game, but the fight for them had such a big impact for both teams. Mid tower, it looks like it's going to already fall. Ahri is trying to defend it. Doesn't look like Aphelios really wants to fight right now. Excuse me. And, yep, mid lane. Aphelios and Nautilus will back. Aphelios, yeah, he has a lot of items. He had a lot of money on him. He has Kraken, Beegreaves, and 2 components to Infinity Edge right now. Already 13 minutes into the game. Aphelios, for those who don't know, top lane. Moves look like they're going to be made onto the Malzahar. Rammus is in the neighborhood, but it doesn't look like anything's going to happen. Rammus is going to try to come up. But both sides seem like they just want to back off. Even though there is this rift crowd to play around. Either side really wants to fight, it seems. Except for Rammus. He's just going to go in, no fear. Ahri does hit the charm on a Rammus and gets the electrocute proc. Takes Rammus a little bit lower than he was. In bot lane, Mord did ult onto the Mundo right before I panned over. Ahri has another charm onto the Aphelios. Aphelios does take a lot of damage. This is a very switchy champion. As I was explaining, Aphelios is one of the least played, kind of difficult champions in League of Legends, and he is the type of champion that wants to get 3 items and then stomp you. This Aphelios is going to get there very quickly. They did take the Rift Herald for the side of Case. Remus is going to ult in onto the Maokai. Malzahar ulting onto the Maokai as well. Maokai might just be able to walk it off. Might not be the case. It doesn't die to burn, I don't think. Yeah, Maokai is fine. Maokai, the one benefit of having Maokai solo by himself this long is Maokai doesn't really die. He can't really pressure, like force you out of the lane or have any sort of kill threat in a 1v2, but he just doesn't die. And looking bot lane, looks like Malzahar is going to TP down. Mundo does try to recall. Spell Shield does stop the Nautilus hook, but it doesn't look like anything is going to happen for the Mundo. Phileos getting another kill. And it looks like bot tower is going to fall for Edgewood. Ari is trying to go down to try to defend tier 1 bot. Phileos going to drop Rift Herald after the tier 1 falls. Going to try to get pressure onto the tier 2 already. Phileos going to go in. Oh, but Ari and Master Yi are here. Could be bad for Phileos. Phileos is forced to Ghost. Nautilus is going to try to keep the Master Yi off of Phileos. Phileos doing as much damage as he possibly can in the back. Rest of Case has arrived. Ari will just fall to the Phileos. Maokai and Mundo do show up for the fight just to try to give some backup, but nothing will happen. Malzahar will ult Maokai and just kill him. A lot of poke damage is coming out from the Phileos still, even against this very tanky Mundo. Ramus gonna taunt the Mundo and just kill him. Kill him under tower. The damage from the Phileos. Phileos is going insane right now. Same with the Malzahar, same with all of Case. I know it is a 4v5, obviously the fights aren't fair, but this Phileos has been playing very well with the gun cycles and just playing early. Tier 3 is going to fall bot lane. Okay, so it's just going to reset, probably look for the Ocean Dragon. This will be their third at 16 minutes. While all this action is happening bot lane, it is important to mention Mordekaiser has been top lane, just split pushing. Has a 150 gold shutdown with only 1 kill. And this Mord is just getting very farmed, very fed. And even in these big team fights, Mord isn't really needed. Mord is good to take one person out of the fight, obviously. But tankiness, Nautilus has got it. Damage, Phileos has got it. Mordekaiser can just split push and be annoying in the side lanes. Just provide an extra issue for Edgewood to deal with in this 4v5. And the support of Case already pinging Baron. Case just wants this to be done. Phileos did finish the Infinity Edge. Phileos is going to be a monster. And he's going to be even stronger with more items the further this game goes. Nobody on Edgewood really outscales an Phileos. The only person that can come close, I guess, is Mundo with Heartsteel. Or maybe Master Yi with a few items, but very behind this Phileos. Almost 10 CS per minute for the Phileos. That is kind of a lie, but still. 154 CS by 18 minutes without like having a cull or anything like that. And still having 6 kills. Phileos really putting in the work. Not to mention the help from the Nautilus. Nautilus has been hitting crazy hooks this entire game. And all of Case has just been playing very, very well around their champions. It's going to be a group around Baron Pit. Does spawn in 1 minute. Ari is showing mid. Doesn't have any interest in fighting Case right now. Excuse me. Yeah, Edgewood has just gotta let the lanes shove into them just so they could try to keep them off tower. Think. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I believe the gold tab works. Maybe not. I apologize again for the black screens. I'm trying to figure out this new overlay with the Vanguard update. some stuff isn't working, but luckily we have the old scoreboards back. So that's all that really matters. The main point of having the in-game overlay. Let's see. Malzahar just invading Master Yi's camps. Like I was saying earlier, Master Yi does have a pretty... Master Yi is a pretty hard scaling champion. And one of the ways Edgewood could have back into this game is playing around Yi scaling. But worth mentioning from Case. 20 minutes into the game, they're gonna go Baron. Yep. Another fight. I'm so sorry my game cut it out, but a fight is gonna happen around Baron pit. Master Yi is gonna try his best to contest, so is Ari. Nothing is gonna happen. Mundo is gonna try his best just to stay alive and contest this Baron. Case, by forcing Baron, they do manage to force Edgewood to try to fight them. Edgewood really can't. I'm gonna go back and rewatch this Baron fight since the game ended up tabbing out for the overlay. So we can see here, big fight is going in. Maokai does try to engage. Does get a lot of damage down onto the Aphelios, but Aphelios with the red-white, just doing so much damage in the backline. Does end up going down to the Mundo, but the rest of Edgewood just falls so easily to the AoE damage of the Mordekaiser and just in general. Okay, it's doing way too much damage right now. We're gonna go back to present times. Case will secure Baron, and Edgewood just trying to respawn, keep the Baron minions out of their base. Dragon is up very soon. And yeah, it does seem like... Oh, yep, they're gonna fight around Baron. It does seem like the overlay thing has stopped working. It's fine, I'll get that figured out for her next week. But it's gonna be a fight around Baron, group up from both teams. Ari does hit a very good charm into the Aphelios immediately, but Malzahar shuts her down with an ultimate. Mordekaiser is just gonna focus down the Mundo, and Case is just picking apart Edgewood one by one, finding these 1v1s, and now they don't even have to fight for the dragon. It is their soul, but they have Baron. They can just end. Without Mundo, Yi, or Ari being alive and it just being Maokai. Maokai can't do anything to stop this push from Case. Even then, Rammus is still stalling the Maokai. Maokai's gonna try his best just to run back to base. Ults. Tries to do anything just to slow Case down. Doesn't... Excuse me, does not look like anything will work. Mordekaiser's gonna ult the first that spawns. And yep, Case with the win. Was expected since the game was a 4v5. Again, one of the players from Edgewood was not available to play right now. Still very well fought from Edgewood though. I liked their plays early game with a Master Yi going top lane, giving the Mundo first blood. Mundo did obviously still have some sort of impact on the game. So now we can see the damage charts here. And yeah, very high damage from Aphelios, like I was saying. Was building into the Lord Doms. Still very good performance from Edgewood for it being a 4v5. Ari with 14,000 damage, almost as much as Malzahar. Very well played from both teams. That was the first round of playoffs for WIHSEA League of Legends. Next week, I'm not sure what the game is going to be streamed for next week, but hopefully it'll be another good one like this one. And that is